Morning, Keith. Just kind of waiting here, guys, to get folks to join or have folks join. Welcome, Mike. Morning, Mike. Morning, Jim. Good morning, DCAT. Morning, Frizu. Morning, Racer. Buenos dias, Paula. Morning, Reislek. I got that name right. Hopefully, I didn't mispronounce your name too badly. All right, guys. So I do have the risk disclosure up on the screen. You can review it as we kind of have a little bit of a holding pattern here, a little bit. Yeah, don't be afraid to hit the like button. Yes, it's good karma, right? Good karma. Hitting the like button will bring you nothing but solid, profitable trades today. Good call there, Frizu. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and get started, guys. As you can see here, I do have the risk disclosure up. Again, I'm here not necessarily. I'm here not in a investment advising capacity. I'm here in an education capacity, and the information that I'm providing is really intended to be general. Okay, I'm not here to provide investment advice, to offer, solicit, buy, sell, or recommend, endorse, or sponsor any security, company, or fund. Okay. We all know that future trading contains a substantial amount of risk, and it's not for every investor, and that we should, obviously plan accordingly, right? Only risk capital that you can otherwise afford to lose, and don't jeopardize your financial security, or your daily, your lifestyle, as part of your trading here. Okay, so that's kind of the risk disclosure, kind of, and kind of again, just to kind of set the stage, assist the stage here a little bit. All right, so let's go ahead, and usually this first time here is always kind of the charm here, so we're gonna have to be a little patient here and see and make sure that I'm displaying my screen. So go to edinvesting.com here, and I'm just gonna hang out here for a little bit and see if everybody can see the screen. Looks like there's a sale. All right. But that's not what we're here to share. So, okay, awesome. Okay, all right. News. We had packed full of news yesterday. Is that there's not going to be quite as heavy on the news today, so I'm just going through here, and it's apply back to the top. All right, well, the jobless claims has already been reported, so looks like jobless claims came in line. Okay, and mine are actually under forecast from So that's obviously good news to the market. All right. So notice, I mean, I think we had a list of I don't know, 10 to 12 items yesterday that were news driven. There were all 3 stars, and today we have just one event, which has happened, which is great. Okay, so let's start our review here. All right, so that news already is taking place, so it's not going to affect us. All right, so we'll go ahead and stop here. Move to the. That's not what I wanted. Go here, and then here. Pause here. Let the wires kind of warm up here a little bit. All right. Hopefully you guys can see my TradingView main screen. Okay. So I'm not going to get peppered in Discord. All right. Let's go ahead and move into our charts. Okay. We are going to, let's see, where probably the easiest would be just to modify. Let's make sure everything I need is here. Yeah, it looks like so. I'll go ahead and modify this chart here to gold. All right. And you can see there were, I guess, a little bit of a rally right now. Let's open up and then let's open this up here as well. Okay, I'm going to kind of squeeze that in. All right, so we are developing in the gold market. Right? I say developing, right? Because this is the daily chart. Okay, now again, we are a daily chart. You can see here that we were on a pretty good bull run, and kind of in a series of candles that have led to lower prices here. Okay, so daily is looking a bit, at least in the short term, bearish. If you look at a much bigger view, then you would say that we're maybe in this little bit of a consolidation area. Maybe slight retracement for potential move higher. Okay, but nonetheless, we trade the more recent, and the more recent is indicating that we are in this kind of bearish channel, right? So if I draw this here, we're in channel. As long as we stay in this bearish channel, then we have to trade accordingly. Okay, so we most likely need to look for opportunities to the downside. 4-hour chart. Okay, 4-hour chart. We're coming off the top of the channel here, coming into an area potentially of demand. Okay, I'm going to here you can see that we are kind of reacting away from this slightly demand area here. So this, this is 4-hour chart, but looks like it might be in the creating potentially a 3-bar reversal pattern, right? So what I mean by that is, well, I need another candle that's a little bit on the bullish side to come on this side, right? So if I see one of these numbers like this, then that would be a nice pattern to witness. All right, we have down a candle that maybe is met up by about a lot of buying, and another candle that kind of sandwiches up for a potential move. Okay, but we're still an hour away, maybe less. No, a little bit or more than an hour away from this candle actually completing here. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing right now on the 4-hour chart. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. I don't think I need that. Looking at the 30-minute chart. Okay, 30-minute chart. Again, we're kind of zooming in detail, looking at a little bit more focused. Okay, on the series of I guess the candles that make up the 4-hour. Okay, so we were seeing kind of like a little bit of a indecision or hammer or high wave candle here there on the 4-hour, and on the 30, starting to make a little bit of a series of candles. Can't say that they're overly strong, but nonetheless, they are to the upside. Now we are okay. We are below the 233-day EMA. We have a initial balance range that for now is relatively calm, I would say. Relatively what we would expect to see for gold. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. So let's do that. If I can locate it, I think this one here. All right, I'm going to go and I'm going to go back to the Wednesday, and locate the 5:30 candle. Select that, and then drag that across to the end of the day. Okay, so I think that looks about right. Okay, so here we are, inside value, right? What inside value means that neither participant is really in control of the market at this point. We do have what appears to be a lot of shorts in the market at the moment, but we are in value, right? So we came down to the low end of value, and we were kind of scooped up as we would expect to see, right? Maybe the bulls are feeling that since we're in the low end of value, with that price that we can kind of, dabble or dip our toes into the market. All right. What's going to be important for me is let's go ahead and is to see how it reacts off this line here, VWAP, value weighted average price. Are we going to have the price kind of come up to this area and then kind of continue its trek to the downside? Is it going to be one of those kind of moves? All right, the sloping VWAP is indicating that. All right, that as a possibility, right? Okay. Another area that I might want to look at, again, this is kind of to support a continuation trade or continuation of the trend, value area high, right? So price can come up here to the top end of value, okay, before it makes that move that I've mentioned, okay? You do one of these numbers, okay? Right, but could I potentially trade up to that, up to this VWAP, up to that? Now, that's really personal. That's really something that you have to kind of evaluate enough. Evaluate the risk reward. This looks to me like a kind of a 1-to-1 kind of date, right? From here to here is 1-to-1. Had I been more maybe around these levels, that would make it a little bit more enticing. But now that we've had a series of candles already moving past, this trade is looking more like 1-to-1 and not 2-to-1. So probably most likely sitting in my hands. Plus, it's not during in a time that I would normally look for a trade. Okay. So I'm just go ahead and open the ADR, and lo and behold, we are reacting away from ADR. So we've seen that before, right? ADR levels at support, right, for us. Okay. Now we do like to see these candles kind of move away further, right? But there are obviously some things that indications in the market that this scenario that I have outlined here is potentially still in play. Okay, so let's go ahead and identify these levels. Okay, so you have ADR high here at what looks like 23.47.5, 47.5. I think that was what I was eyeballing here a little bit. I'll double check. It's more like 23.48. 23.48. That looks more like it. 23.48. Okay. ADR low. Well, we're there now. Okay. And that is coming in at was that 23.11? 23.11.5, somewhere in that range. 23.11.5. We have settlement. Okay. Settlement is actually turned off right now. Let me turn that on. Don't need settlement the whole day, so I just need it for settlement. Right here is this level right here. Where is it? Down close to where is it? Right at the ADR high here. So let's see. So that's 23. Looks like 23.11. So right at ADR low. Okay, so that's a nice little confluence of data or of indication. Okay, right there. Okay, 23.11 is our settlement price. Now we'll go ahead and turn on ASR. All right, ASR a bit lower here, so that is what is that 23.21 looks like. Yeah, 23.21 on top side. 23.21 ASR, and then on the bottom it's looking more like 22.97. Stretch this out here a bit. 22.97 is kind of what I'm seeing. 22.97.1 is kind of what I'm seeing as ASR low. Okay, 22.97.1. All right, so we are in the midst of a developing initial balance range. Really not super excited about, kind of the price action we're seeing right now. We're basically seeing price action that indicates that, people are equally interested in selling as they are buying. Okay, we have a high wave. We have a candle that has a very small body. We have wicks to the top, wicks to the bottom, in an otherwise in a market where a lot of people short. Okay, so the question is it going to rally? That's kind of my thinking, is that it may continue to rally here a bit and offer up opportunity for us to short. Okay, up at the level that I've kind of aired out here, or VWAP, to provide another leg to the downside. Okay, and come back down to ASR in this case, or okay, that's kind of because we've already hit ADR. All right, this right down here is ASR. So ASR may provide us a level of support that we can then at this point we can consider maybe a more, a potential long trade. Right, we could do something like this. This would be an area that I would focus in on for longs. Okay, I do, how we say, a prior area where price has moved away from it, right? So that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gold market. I'm going to kind of pop in here and see if there's any, kind of questions. Looks like there's none. So we're going to go ahead and move to the crude oil market. All right. So crude oil market, CL. Okay. Here we are, CL. We're going to go ahead and open up the daily just to get a feel for what's the daily's doing. Well, we've been kind of in a, kind of a bearish move. Okay, we're starting to make some, lower lows and lower highs in the market. We are still above this magical 133 EMA, which then basically tells us that we're still, bullish, I guess, in the market, as long as we stay above it, right? If we do get below it, then it opens up more bearish price action, maybe further lower, right? But now we are certainly, kind of staircasing our way lower. Now, looking at these candles, so we have a series of candles down, and then we had a little bit of a rally, right? And now we have a series of candles down. Maybe we have a bit more to go before we rally again, right? Markets are symmetrical. So we have this kind of swing. We have a little bit of a retracement down. I would say it's not quite distance. Let's see. Let's just for it's got me interested now. So I'm going to do this kind of Fibonacci kind of review here. So this is the 100% extension down this area around 75. Okay, we are coming up with the close to the 61 point extension of this original swing. Okay, which could provide an area for price to reverse off of, right? either here, okay, or here. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. And okay, now, but we're ways away from that. We're looking at daily, just to give you kind of a visual and just to incorporate some of the things that we've been talking about in coaching. Okay, all right, or group coaching, I should say. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart is also kind of giving us a series of bearish look and feel here, right? Again, continue to staircase to the downside. I've kept these levels down here because I see that there's a little bit of confluence here when we get to the 30-minute chart, that this area might be an area to consider a buy, right? Otherwise, we are in an area right now where we might want to think for a potential short trade. Okay, so let's look at the 30-minute chart so I can get a closer look as to what I'm looking at. All right. Okay, so let's turn this off for a second. Okay, so we have a candle here that's just pierced VWAP. All right. And looks like it's breaking some structure to the downside. We're about 5 minutes away from the open of the market. So we'll have to wait for that to happen. We're coming up on settlement price, and we have a couple of data points here that this range at between 70, what is that? 78, 50. Okay, might be an area for price to potentially reverse, but before even that is discussed, we're already at an area now where we could potentially, take a reasonable amount of risk and participate in a short trade to that area. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing, at least on the sort of price action. Let's take a look at the fixed range volume profile. Let's go back to Wednesday and let's locate the 6 a.m. bar here. All right, I think I just passed it. There it is. Drag that across. Looking at the 1330 bar, which is right about there. You can see here, like similar to gold, we're kind of in this range now in kind of an inverse way, right? Gold was kind of coming into this from below, headed higher, and crude oil actually is on the lower end of value from all intents and purposes, looking to go lower. Okay, let's go ahead and call out these levels. Okay, so we have ADR high here at looks like pretty close to 80. All right, 80.13. Okay, 80.13, 80.13. We have ADR low at what looks like, was that 78.21. Okay, ADR low 78.21. And then we have settlement at looks like, let's see, what is settlement? Settlement looks like at 79, smack right in the middle of 79. Looks like it. Okay, so 79 is settlement. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and turn off ADR and open up SR. Okay, average session range. Okay, these black lines. Let's see. I think above. Okay. Well, probably a couple of minutes away here. Maybe that's why it's in black. But 81.45 top side. 81.45 top side. And what do I have here on the bottom? Looks like 79.85. 79.85 ASR low. Okay. All right. So now that we have all these things in play here. So yeah, right now I'm seeing that we're, basically, need to potentially we're getting a new break lower, okay, in the market, VWAP, okay, headed into an area that could potentially be supportive here at settlement price, right? Okay. So settlement could offer us an opportunity for a reversal, or this level that I had drawn out earlier, this extension is down here. Okay. Could offer us an opportunity for a reversal. If we're looking for reversal, if we're looking for continuation, where we're at a place now, I would say we're taking a fair amount of risk, and we're headed into an area that could potentially be supportive. Okay, right? So let me turn this off here. Okay, so the area down here seems to be ripe for a potential buy. Gonna see if I can see maybe a similar area here to the left that maybe would offer. Yeah, so we're kind of potentially coming into an area here where we could get some demand in crude oil. But so we'll see. We'll see what the market has to show or bear. Okay, and we'll have to wait to see what this. I'm kind of waiting to see if we can get this initial balance range just to open up here. It looks like it's starting to open up. The market is opening up here, so the initial balance is being established as we speak. Okay, we're coming into the settlement price now. Curious to see how it reacts against settlement price. Is this going to be an area for potential reversal away from settlement? Okay, is it going to do one of these numbers? Okay, or is it going to continue to explore further to the downside and maybe potentially get some reversal in this area here? Okay. Then looking at these level from the downside, as kind of a reversal zone would be an area that I would want to focus on. That would probably be also ID edge as well. Okay, that could offer us a reasonable risk reward location to participate in that move. All right, to the downside. Always like to participate in a trade where I can manage my risk, or I have some sort of anchor I can use to kind of park my stop. Okay, and make it a little bit of of an effort for folks to take. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm seeing in the crude oil market. I'm taking a peek here. What is the downside price that I show? Well, the downside price is ADR low, right? So I would say ADR low 78.21, right? There's also this extension that I drew 78.32. But I would be less concerned about those two prices, because if you did get into a trade up at this 79 level, we're kind of splitting hairs between the ADR low and this extension. Okay, so yeah, that's the extension 78.32. All right, 78.32 is kind of what I see as the extension, all right, of this initial swing. All right, that I drew earlier. Okay, that's the fib extension. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the NASDAQ. All right, so we're going to head and open up NASDAQ. So here we are. We're going to open up the daily and see what the daily has to holds. So here we are developing a somewhat bullish candle here. Okay, we had quite a bit of reaction to the downside, and actually closed pretty much down right after all was said and done. Okay, now we have a candle here that's developing bullish. Okay, in a market that I guess the swing is really to the downside. If I look at these candles, I'm far more impressed with the bearish candles than I am with the bullish candles. Okay, so certainly this does not feel like we're out of the woods with respect to the bears. Okay, so 4-hour chart. Okay, so here we are on the bottom end. Okay, starting to see a little bit of a little hooking pattern here that could lead to higher prices. We're kind of a shade above VWAP, which is a good indicator, could guide to let us know what direction that they want to take market. Okay, looking right now for our chart, looking that it might be headed a bit higher. We're about 27 minutes from the open of the market, so we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, really not a whole lot of much of anything in overnight. Slightly up, but look at this massive candle that came in here right after FOMC meeting, right? Initially positive, okay, but then, well, down goes Frazier. I mean, this is massive selling that happened here. Okay, now we're kind of since that happened, we've been kind of grinding higher, grinding higher just above VWAP. Okay. So let's take a look at fixed range volume profile. Let's go ahead and locate the 630 or 930 bar. Okay, drag that across to the 1330 bar. There we are. We are kind of hovering right at the top of value area high. Okay, right at the top of value area high at the top of VWAP. Okay, now is this area where we're going to get a little bit of how we say price to close back inside value, and then we get what they call a value area acceptance play to kind of traverse the entire range, okay, of value. Well, that would be massive, right? That'd be excellent trade, right? All the way down to right? That would be a huge trade to the downside, okay? But we need the ingredients for that to take place. We need a close inside value. We need a close below VWAP. Okay. If we get those two things to happen, then yeah, maybe we have the ingredients for a move, not in this kind of vertical way, but better in more of an angle down to settlement price. Okay. So let's take a look at ADR, see what ADR has to say. Well, ADR is nowhere to be found. So we must have a pretty tight range. So we have what looks like 17,660 on the top end. Okay, ADR high 17,660. All right, we have ADR low. Let's do that little. We'll select it and see. We have 17. What is the down there? Okay, let's try this again. We got down this level here. Looks like I don't know. I want to say 17,313, something like that. Let's see if I can do this way here. 17,311.25. 17,311.25 is kind of what I see. Okay. Settlement price is 17. What is that? Let's see if I can change this color here. It's not easy to see. Oops. Change this to maybe a darker. Okay, 17,438 looks like 17,438.25 is what I'm seeing as far as went to the downside. Okay, and let's go ahead and add the turn on ADR and turn on ASR. So we'll go here and turn on ASR. So we have a similar range. We got 17s, pretty much almost spot on. ASR is spot on with what I'm seeing on the, maybe a tick higher. So 17,660.25. So ASR pretty much in agreement here. And then we have on the bottom end, we have, what is that? 17. 340. 147. 17,145.25. It's kind of what I'm seeing there. Looks like more like three. Yeah, it's more like 345, 341, 33. Okay, so 80 ASR low, 17,343. Okay, so that's kind of the ASR levels that I'm looking at. All right. Now, so right now, like I said, what looks interesting to me is a potential value area acceptance play in the Nasdaq. All right, we can get if we can get price to close inside value from yesterday and potentially close below VWAP, then we have a recipe for price to head back down to settlement and maybe all the way through value and maybe go back all the way down to ASR. Okay, that's kind of what I'm seeing here. If I'm more of a buyer of this market, I'm I'm not super keen, even though we have a sloping VWAP to the upside. Value area high could provide me a level for price to continue higher. Okay. I'm just not really keen. It seems like there is more room. It seems like participants would want to come back down and revisit maybe some of these levels down here before making another leg higher. Okay. But certainly possible, right? Right now, we continue to kind of fight this level here, value area high and VWAP. If it maintains, here, eventually the sellers are going to lose some steam here, and the buyers are going to take over, and they're going to take the market a little bit higher. Okay, my preference would be to buy at extremes, buy not in the middle of this swing, but down over where I see settlement price or ASR. That's where I'd like to buy. Okay. 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 All right. So let's see now what remains here. Let's go ahead and open ES. Let's go ahead and open up the S&P. See the again. I don't expect this to be hugely different. Okay, but we'll pull it up nonetheless. Okay, so we're going to move this up higher. It looks like we've already reacted away from a something that I've drawn here on the daily chart. Okay, similar to what we've seen on the Nasdaq, we are developing a bullish candle. All right, in an otherwise down move. All right, so looking at the 4-hour chart. We got the 4-hour chart kind of developing a bit of some prices, just like we saw in the on the Nasdaq. We're starting to develop price action that indicates that maybe we do head a bit higher, but the swing is still to the downside. This may just be merely a retracement for another leg lower. Okay, and I think I was drawing some of these levels using the Fibonacci extension tool to where those levels might be. And I'll do the same here. Okay, so I'll do the fib extension. I'll start up here at the top, go down here, go down to this level, and here's that extension right where we have this this demand zone. Okay, so we have the 61.8% here. See if I could actually make that a little bit bigger. Would be kind of nice. I don't think I have control of that label though. That's the problem. So it looks like 50.26. 50, 26, 25 is kind of what I'm seeing as the 62% or 61%. And then we have 49.84 as the 100% extension of the original swing, assuming that it follows. That's what Fibonacci is telling us. Okay. If this is the major swing, if this is going to be a major swing, then this is the 62 and 100% extension, and maybe all the way down to the 49.15, which would be the 161.8% extension. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. 30-minute chart, again, kind of grinding, I would say, more of a grinding price action to the upside. We've already kind of reacted a bit away from ASR here. I'm going to turn that off and turn ADR on. Okay. And again, ADR and ASR are looking very similar to me today. So let's go ahead and open up the fixed range volume profile. Let's locate the candle here from yesterday, right there. Okay, I'm going to drag that across to right there, and here we are inside value. Okay, now Nasdaq was above, and it was kind of coming into value. right? ES is inside value. Okay, so slightly less directional in ES. Okay, maybe potentially even more rangy today in ES. Okay, so just because of the fact that we're inside value, no one's really excited to do anything necessarily. All right, it's in temporary balance. All right. Okay, so we are a VWAP are below EMA, kind of in a weird place here. All right. If I'm thinking, well, I need an event that tells me short, and that would be maybe a breaking close below VWAP for a target down to settlement price. That would be probably a pretty sweet trade. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and open up the identify these levels here. So we have ADR high here at let's say call it. We have 50 75, 50 93 75. Okay, we have ADR low at where do we have ADR low? ADR low here at 50 20 20 50 20 25 50 20 25. We have settle. Okay, settlement at what do I have here? 50 46 50, 50 46 50, 50 46 50, and then we'll turn off ADR here for a second and open up ASR. And we're already at ASR. So let's see what's that top side. ASR looks like is 50 90 25. Okay, ASR 50 25, 50 90 25. Okay. Oh my God. All right. And ASR low. ASR low looks like is right smack on the extension. Looks like so. What is that? Looks like 50 26 ASR low. 50 50 26 is kind of what I'm seeing. 50 26. All right. Okay, make sure that's visible to everybody here. So that's what we're looking at right now. And again, the market feels a little heavy to me. All right. We're starting to see maybe a little bit of a staircase, but I honestly, guys, I do need to see before I participate in any sort of short. I do need to see an event that closes below, specifically below VWAP. If price is able to maintain above VWAP, I am not interested in short. All right. I don't want to be in this chop and have it continuously grind higher. Okay. I need a definitive price to close below. And then at that point, maybe I would be interested in a short in the S&P with a target to some of these levels before, as I mentioned before, nice asymmetric opportunity here, potential, right? We have stop maybe up around these levels with a target down at these levels. Can't beat that, right? It's at least 3-to-1 trade for sure. Okay. Take a look and see. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and close out with YM or the Dow. All right. So we're going to go ahead and look at the Dow here. YM, the Dow. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and quickly look at the daily. I suspect that the daily is going to tell us the same things that we've been seeing, okay, in other markets. All right, looking at the daily, again, we have a series of bullish candles. This candle not as bullish as this. We had some selling wick here up at the daily in an otherwise downtrend. Maybe it's starting to think about forming maybe a little bit of a double bottom. I'm seeing here, maybe here on the daily in the Dow. For our chart, what's the 4-hour chart? Well, that's giving us a little bit more granularity on this idea that I have that maybe we are close to a double bottom. We are at a higher high. We have not made a new low, right, recently. Okay, so that's also kind of they're in the cap for the bulls. All right, so looking at the 30-minute chart, 30-minute chart. Okay, so here we are, 30-minute chart. We're up against some levels here. I'm going to go ahead and turn off ASR, turn on ADR. Okay, so that's above us. All right, so we, again, similar to what we're seeing in the NASDAQ and the Dow, price above. Right now, reacting off of EMA. Again, if I'm sitting in the shorts, well, I need to see price, really get below VWAP for me to entertain anything. Okay, it is below EMA, which is, again, feather in the cap, but I have a conflict here, right? I have one side saying bull, another side saying bear. It's kind of a decision that needs to be made here. All right, looking at the fixed range volume profile. We'll take a look at, see the 930 bar, drag that over to the 1330 bar. Okay, there I be. All right, we are inside value, just like all the other equities. Okay, we could be in for a rangy day potentially. Okay, in YM. So yeah, again, rangy day according to the volume profile. Let's go ahead and call out these levels. So maybe put that over here. Say ADR high. Okay, we have ADR high at what is that? 38,352. 38,352. Okay. Then we have ADR low at 37,897. 37,897. We have settlement at what is that? 38,69. 38,069. All right, and then we'll turn this off, AR, and turn on ASR. Okay, we'll turn that on. So we have ASR is on the top end of the range. Okay, so ASR here at 38,200, I'm going to call it 38,200, top side. And then bottom side, we're going to call it 37,21. Okay, 37,821. Close that. All right, so that's kind of the levels we're going to be looking at here, guys. Okay, kind of an interesting area that we're in right now. Right, we're just below EMA, just above VWAP, with wicks on both directions. So your guess is as good as mine. What direction we're going to go? I'm kind of leaning that we're eventually going to move lower. Okay, I'm going to say lower, but I do need to see a price event that would indicate that right now. Okay, and these price events are not giving me the conviction. All right, I'm going to be looking for a Bigfoot bar. All right, Bigfoot conviction bar before I make that kind of call. Okay, so what is ASR? ASR is average session range. Tanya, average session range. ADR is average daily range. And average daily range is a blend of all markets: Asia, London, New York. ASR, in this particular case, what I have drawn here, is only the New York session. It's session based, comparing one session to the next, to the prior sessions, instead of a blend. Okay, does that make sense, Tanya? Okay, so average is just a blend of Asia, London, and New York. ASR is session to session. I can compare New York with New York, more of an apples to apples comparison. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Well, I think that is it for me. We're just 7 minutes ahead of the open of the market. Um, a lot of news that I think it still needs to be digested based on FOMC. I'm kind of excited. I don't have a whole lot of news in my way to allow me to participate in the market. I think we are in some interesting areas that where decisions need to be made, and if decisions need to be made, that tends that leads me to believe that market participants are going to kind of step in here at some point and make those decisions. And if they make those decisions, that's going to cause the markets to move. And if we're looking at the right levels, then we stand to benefit. All right. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it for me. I want to wish you a very safe and successful trading day. And as I like to close every session, we want to trade like a market trader. All right, let's go out there and trade like a market trader, guys. Until next time, we'll see some of you in group coaching. Denada, Paula, others of you will see back again tomorrow morning. Don't be afraid to hit the like button as you exit the stage. If you're not a subscriber, please do so. And with that, we'll say adios. Bye, guys.